Hi, this is Ann, and I'm here with my beautiful daughter Rose. We're taking a ride, and like I mentioned in another video, since it's such a beautiful day, we want to show you our beautiful town of Cameron. We live in North Carolina. It's a beautiful state, and so I hope you enjoy this video. We just want to take you for a ride. You might hear us talking a little bit, and I apologize if it gets a little jingly. We don't have a mount yet for the car, so it might go jingly. If it gets really bad, I'll try to hold it with my hand. So I'm just warning ahead of time. So anyway, let me see if I can go ahead and we can get you up against the the window here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. What do you think?
It will be facing upwards, though.
Oh, upwards. Okay. Let's see. No. I think I'm gonna have to hold the.
You want to start over again, or?
Oh no, it's okay. Is it still filming?
Yeah, it's still filming.
Okay.
Is it okay?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, I apologize to you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and hold the camera. We tried to anchor the tablet with our beautiful, Jesus and Blessed Mother, Papa Joseph statues. But I'm gonna go ahead and just use my hand here. So right now we're in a parking lot of a cemetery, and we're going around. So later on, we'll try to buy a mount, so this way you guys won't feel like, topsy-turvy, dizzy-wizzy. We apologize about this, but we really do want to show you our hometown. What it is right now, we're on the way down towards our hometown. This whole area is still part of Cameron. So, but we just wanted to show you what a beautiful place this is. One thing about North Carolina, like I mentioned in my prior videos, I'm originally from California, and my daughter was born in Oklahoma. But when we came out here, I was really happy and surprised because it's such a beautiful state. The people are beautiful, but also too the trees, the beaches, the grass, the meadows. It's a really beautiful place, and like I mentioned, I think it's one of America's best kept secrets. Cost of living is great. But we just want to show you kind of like where we live. And if this video ends up being too shaky, we might try to redo it later, but let's see how it goes. Today.
Oh yeah, nice and warm, but it's not too super hot.
Last week we had tons of rain. Well, not tons, but we had rain off and on, and the humidity was really high, gray skies, and it's so beautiful to see the blue skies again. And yeah, where we're located about 90 minutes away from the beach. We're about 90 minutes away from Wilmington, which is right on the beach. And the beaches are beautiful here. They're course, in Wilmington you have Fort Fisher, which is a historical area. Cameron is known for many things. In fact, I believe there are 2 famous wrestlers that come from here. Also, too, they're known for, they consider what the dewberry. And I didn't know what a dewberry was. And they have like dewberry jam, dewberry jelly, and they even have a place that you can eat that's named after the dewberry. And basically the one street town that, you know, and it's a really pretty town. They have a lot of antique stores. Twice a year they have like every 6 months they have like a big antiques fair. And the antiques fair, it brings people from all over the state, but not just the state. It brings people from other parts of the country too. It's pretty big. And they run it for, I think it's like a weekend. And so it's pretty exciting. So if you love antiques, this is the place you want to be. A lot of history here. A lot of history. It's just, and of course, we like it out here. It's what I like about it is that we're close enough. We're like 20 minutes away. Well, 10 minutes away from like a smaller town. Well, not a smaller town, but the town's has about 10,000 people. And then we're about a half hour away from a large city, which is Fayetteville. And then we're about 15-20 minutes away from Sanford. Sanford's a fairly large city, so we're smack dab in between 2 large cities, and they're minutes away. And so it's really great. You get you're not totally isolated, which is nice. It's like you're close enough to where you can go to, like near our place. Just recently, like when we first moved to Cameron, it was they had like a supermarket, a pizza place, a Chinese place, a dollar place. But over the last 2-3 years, especially the last 2 years, it's really exploded. We have a lot of fast food places. You name it, they've got it. They've got a bunch of doctors, dentists, clinics. They have now we have a large Walmart, Dollar Tree, restaurants. I mean, it's really expanded. Not on this side here, but on the other side, which goes down the other direction. So we have pretty much everything we need. Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's. We've got a lot of places to eat, and it's near our home, and so it's really great. I mean, it's really expanded, but not to a point where you feel like it's like we still live in the country, but we're close enough to where we have the amenities of being like in a small city or larger town. So it works out really great. So hopefully you guys don't feel too drunk. I'm sorry about. I'm holding my tablet with my hands, and we're going to try to do this more professional. We will definitely try to find a mount of some sorts, so this way, it's not so shaky like this.
We get a free roller coaster ride. We'll just play that.
We get a free roller coaster ride, and but I just wanted you to see how pretty this area is, and also, our town, which is technically, our downtown is about almost 10-15 minutes away from our house. So this area covers a large area, and is pretty much, I mean, you see you'll see a lot of manufactured homes, farmhouses, newer homes. I don't know if I can turn this around. Let me turn this around so you can see a little bit on the side, and give you a view of the side. But we're coming up on some pretty trees around here too, so I don't want you to miss that. I'm gonna tell you, my daughter Rose. Now she's a great driver. I mean, she's what I love about her is that she's a careful driver. I'm sitting here. She's a careful driver, and every time we go out, I feel very safe. And she's nice enough to. This is her car, and we said, hey, the next 3 days are supposed to be really nice like this, cooler, especially for the end of June, and the humidity's going to be low, so believe me, we're trying to take advantage of it.
I think we should be coming up to the town pretty soon.
Okay, all right.
This is right across this bridge, I think that's coming up.
All right, so Rose is telling me we're getting close to our town. I'm busy trying to keep this tablet straight so you guys can see. I'm trying, like I said, not to shake it too much. We're doing.
I'm sure you're doing a great job. Don't worry about it.
I'm sort of like I'm trying to be really stiff with my arms. Sorry about the bumps and but we're coming to a bridge, yeah. So we're getting closer to our town. Now, I'm sorry about the fact that it's not as clear as I'd like it to be. I have an older tablet. It's a great tablet. I love it. It's a Samsung. Bought it, I think, about three years ago, maybe 4. But it runs great, and since we just started, really, we just, it's going to take time. We'll see how it goes. But right now, we're just trying to keep it on the cheap. Like I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, I don't use a smartphone. We have a cell phone, but not a smartphone. And I know if we had a smartphone, we could probably mount this a lot easier, or use a selfie stick type of thing. But this is what, you guys are nice enough to look at a primitive way of trying to film. But
no one can beat that Bigfoot video, no?
yeah, that's true too. That's true. So that we're coming into our town here, and let me take a look. Oh yeah, here we are.
Slow down a bit.
And yeah, and you see this brick building here. Oh, sorry about that. The brick building says Muse Brothers, and they've been around since 1876. I'm going to take my time and try to show you some of these buildings as they come up. I'm sliding this all the way around. I'm sorry about. There's a beautiful church there, and I'm trying to get some of the.
I'll try and make a YouTube so wherever you kind of get, you might be able to get a second roll on it.
I started doing that da 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 da. You feel like you're on a merry-go-round, don't you? Let's see. We got our beautiful statues of our Blessed Mother, Jesus, and our Papa Joseph there. But yeah, we're going to try to show you more.
There's a school coming up. I might be able to turn around.
Okay. But it's just so great to be out today. I'm very thankful that we're out today. It's a beautiful day, and you know, there's
might be able to turn into their yard. Maybe.
yeah. I watched another YouTuber, and he's really great, and he's up there in New Jersey, and he said, you know, make the most of each moment, and
Take my time.
I'm trying to get the trees here. Take your time, Miss Rose. You're doing great. And believe it or not, you know, for a one-street town, we get quite a bit of traffic there. There's a white picket fence there.
There were tons of cars, kind of
Yeah.
going pretty quick.
Yeah, and we're gonna take our time. Let's see if we can show you a little bit more.
There's no one behind me, so I think I can even slow down just a teeny bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try to show the churches if I can. And they got buildings, and we have some Victorian homes, older homes. It really is a beautiful area. It's just incredible. I used to do a lot more camcorder video. I mean, that was, oh, there's another, let me see if I can, I don't think I can capture, let me see if I can capture the house there.
There's one. See it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's another, yeah,
Getting a little bit in the trees. Over there.
yeah, in the trees there. And,
Oh, there's the bamboo forest.
oh yeah, well, there's a bamboo forest. There's a lot of bamboo here in North Carolina. So if you think you have to go to Asia to see bamboo trees, you don't have to, because they have a lot of bamboo here in North Carolina. I think we saw some even at here's a antique store here. It's called the Old Warehouse, and there's tons of antique stores here. There's a pretty white church here, and let's see here. I can try to show you a little bit of our post office there. In the distance, that's there. And then here's another antique stores here.
I can even go down this road if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, Rose.
Then you can get a little bit of
And there's
back
another antique store. What they did is they turned a lot of these older homes into antique stores. And oh wait, they showed some old farming equipment there.
Oh,
No, that's something you don't see too often.
I guarantee it's not John Deere.
Yeah, it's not a John Deere. Yeah, they, you know, we always joke about, but they have like a lot of, sometimes on the side of the road you see those old farm-all tractors. I'm from the suburbs, so I had to learn this pretty quick. Over here is another antique store, but they also have a deli. Oh, that's right, I forgot, they're not open on Mondays, so we couldn't eat there anyway. I thought about,
I guess our lunch plans have changed.
exactly, we had thought about maybe eating there. There's the big water tower.
Oh yeah, I forgot we actually have water tower.
I like the way you said that. And there's a little picture, you can see a little bit of a Victorian home there. Give us a second here, and Rose got to be careful with the traffic. It's a little bit of a Victorian home there. And, but yeah, it's incredible. It's, later on as we...
got a Cameron Summer Sizzler thing coming up.
Oh, okay. They got some type of festival or something. And then there's another antique store there, and then they got the tea place. You got a antique store and like a little cozy place there, and antiques. There's another antique store there. So really, Cameron is basically antique stores and beautiful churches. And
Here's the train road.
oh yeah, here's the train tracks. And Rose told me some interesting. Let me see if I can get it here.
Supposedly, these train tracks were actually going to go like towards Myrtle Beach, believe it or not.
And Myrtle Beach is in South Carolina. It's a beautiful beach city, resort. It's just, it's to me outside of Florida. They say outside of Florida and Disney World, Universal Studios, and all that. The next biggest vacation destination is Myrtle Beach. So go ahead, Rose, and tell us about the.
I think they were building it, and then eventually, I think they stopped building kind of like never got completed because I think after a while you had the roads and cars and trucks and stuff like that. But it was kind of neat if we did have it.
Oh yeah, I wish it was still running. That would be great. Now these people, they bought this property and they made it into like a park. Some of it's for farming, and then you'll see their house here in a minute. It's a big white house. It's like a kind of Victorian style. The thing you'll notice about North Carolina is they have all sorts of trees, but a lot of pine trees. Tons of pine trees. And manufactured homes are very popular here, especially in the rural areas. But they also have those big 2-3-story homes that you see in California or in the Midwest or anywhere in the U.S. Those really nice suburbs. They've got those as well. So North Carolina has a little bit of everything to offer. There was a little bit of a lake there. Missed some of that. But of course, you know, some of the new highways that they built here. Now what we're going to do is, after we stop filming, we need to stop at Food Lion. Now Food Lion is a popular supermarket here in North Carolina. And out west, I was used to Safeway or Lucky's, or I guess they have Albertsons over there. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've, left California. And but let me get back over here so you can see the main road. I just want to kind of let you see some of the side views too. There's so many beautiful areas here. It's incredible. I wish you guys could be here with us. Well, you guys are. And also too, sometimes, when you see videos, like on certain states, you'll see, certain parts, like, some of the larger cities or attractions, but this is an area that is, it's kind of like one of those areas that you don't get a chance to see unless you move here, you come here, you visit someone. And so it's a great opportunity for us to show you what it looks like, out here. And I fell in love with this place. I love my home state, California. It's beautiful there too, but I do love it out here. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's incredible. And I've never, like California tends to have larger redwood trees or sequoias. I come from the Monterey area, so it's, by the beach. And we have Big Sur and all that, but you can see beautiful trees like, near Tahoe or, that area, Sequoia. But these thin pine trees, I call them, they're thinner. And I remember back in 2004, when my parents came for their first visit out here, and we picked up my mom and dad at the airport up there in Raleigh. And I remember my mom looked out the window. Now they were tired. It was a long trip coming out here because they had, connecting flights. But I remember my mom was looking out the back. She was sitting behind me. She was in the back seat with my dad, and she was looking out the back window, and she kept looking at the trees. And she said, "My stars, the pine trees are, they're thinner, but there's tons of trees." And my father-in-law, he joked about it one time. He says, "Well, even if you tear down 10 trees, you knock them down," he says, "in about 1 year, there'll be 50 more trees that replace the 10 trees." He was joking about it. But it's just so gorgeous. And then you see some of these farms. It's just beautiful. For me, like I said, I grew up in the suburbs, but I grew up by the beach. And so for me, to live in a place like this is a real treat. this is it's different from, where I grew up. And so I get a chance to live out in a rural area. Oh, well, not just me, but my daughter, my husband, all of us, we get a chance to live out in the rural area, including our 2 beautiful cats. And but it really is such a treat for us. One thing that's going to surprise you, and I normally, people don't have to give out personal information, but I'm going to tell you, back in 1999, and our money was tight because we had moved out here in 1998, and my husband's from North Carolina. His whole family is here. His family's been here really since the Mayflower. And of course, North Carolina is one of the original 13 colonies, which a lot of times I don't think about. It's one of the original 13 colonies. So his family's been here since, really the Mayflower. And, his background is mainly Scottish, Irish, and English. And so we were talking, and the thing about North Carolina is when we first moved here, at the time I think the population was about 9 or 10 million, and I was surprised because this is such a beautiful state. I kid you not. And the cost of living is really good. And I'll tell you how good the cost of living is our credit wasn't good, and our money was tight. At that time, my husband, he's a hard worker. He got in with a job, started off at $6 an hour. I kid you not, this was in 1998. And we were living in a town, it's like about 10 minutes away from here. We were renting a place, and it was nice. It was an older home, but we, still, you kind of like to buy a place. And so what we did, we saw an advertisement on TV where they were advertising these homes. And so we drove up, and we were, it was like a housing subdivision, but what it is each house has a certain amount of land with it. And of course, it's in a rural area. It's out here. It's in the country. And so we talked to the people, and they said, well, you don't really qualify. But we know of a person that can help you, and he's a real nice man. I won't tell you his name. His first name is Jim, and he came, and he showed us right across the highway from where we were looking. There was another housing area that had large plots of land, and he showed us 2 places, and we were worried because our credit was not good at all, and our income was so-so. And so he said, but the thing is, the house was a foreclosure. And so we went ahead and we applied for it. I want to thank Jesus and all in heaven for giving us the house. I'm telling you, Jesus and all in heaven gave us the house. And the house, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. It's about almost 1,400 square feet. It's a nice house. It's got all the. It was built in 1994, and we have, like I said, we got about a ½ acre of land. But if you look at one of our videos behind our house, there's like at least 6 or 7 acres behind us, and the house cost $60,000, and this was back in 1999. And it's got a garden tub. I haven't taken you for a house tour. We showed you our chapel, but I haven't taken you for a house tour. But I'll tell you, it's and some of those houses during the when we had the housing bust, some of the houses near our home you could actually, at that time, you could buy them for 25 or even 30,000. Some were even cheaper than that. And these are nice homes. And so this is where, you know, North Carolina, what I love about it is, you know, your house payment can be really, actually, if you, it's cheaper to buy a home here than to rent. So this is where, you know, your house payment can be low. Don't get me wrong, you know, the car prices are about the same, but the gas right now, the last I looked the other day, the gas is like $1.99 a gallon, which is really great. And of course, you know, you've got the mountains, the beautiful mountains, the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then you have like this area here, which is called the Sand Hills. And if you go a little bit further, you know, towards the mountains, it's the foothills. But we're only 90 minutes away from the beach. And this road's going to make a turn here. Hold on. And really, you know, and some of the food is cheaper. Don't get me wrong. I noticed the food prices have been going up. And, you know, I know the economy's changed a bit, but...
I'll take you for a little detour.
Yeah. Rose is going to go and take us for a detour. She's going to show you a regular, like for instance over here, now you can see a manufactured house there. And, you know, a lot of these manufactured houses, they come with, you know, porches, decks. I mean, it's real nice. But this is a housing area. And as you notice, each house has got a pretty nice plot of land with it. And these are like one-story houses. And then they have other housing subdivisions where you got the big two-story houses. And these houses here, if I had to take, if actually there's a two-story right there. If I had to take a guess, now I don't know exactly how much these houses cost, but if I had to take a guess, at the time these houses were sold, they were probably about $150,000, maybe $170,000, because these are nice houses, but they're on the smaller side. We've got those big two-story, three-story houses.
Hey, there's some horses.
Oh yeah, there's some. Rose just mentioned there's some horses. You look straight ahead. And see, that's what I love about it. You,
Oh, there's a lake. I'll turn.
Okay, oh yeah, there's a lake. So, give us 1 second. We're going to show you a lake. And,
We'll actually stop.
yeah, here, and there you can kind of see the horses. And, it's just really beautiful. It's, that's why I love where we live. I'm thankful, you know, for everything, you know, for the house, where we live, for everything. And I'll show you a view ahead. And here we're starting to hit more of like a little bit of a country road.
Kind of the off the beaten path.
Off the beaten path. Yeah, I love the way Rose says things, because she says it the way it is. And but it's incredible.
There's some, I think, Canadian geese in that lake.
Oh yeah. Let me see. It's hard to see the. Let me see if I can.
Let me see if I can get just a teensy.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little closer so you can see. It's like a pond or a little bit of a lake, and we have a lot of ponds and lakes where we live. In fact, there's a big lake near our house, and it's supposed to be the largest lake in the county where we live. It's a little bit hard to tell because we have a lot of a lot of trees. Now here we're hitting a dirt road, so we might want to.
Yeah,
we'll go and back up.
I don't want to go off the road too much.
My daughter,
my car is made for that.
My daughter has a really great Toyota, but it's a 2004, so we're trying to be careful with the car.
Baby the car.
Try to baby the car. The car was in the shop the other week, and I'm gonna have Rose just take a look at the camera, and she's better tell how we're looking as far as video time.
We're at 34 minutes about right now.
Okay, so we look pretty good then. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're pretty good if you want to continue.
Right, and there's another house, and of course you can see the pine trees there. And just so you know, we're not a bunch of stalkers. We just want to kind of show you the neighborhoods here.
I heard you talk about the houses, and I thought, well, this is kind of a neighborhood we don't go into that
And
much.
I'll tell you what's really neat is the fact that, you know, a lot of these people, you know, like I'm looking at this area here, and a lot of times you'll have a pretty house and you have a bunch of trees behind it, or you end up with a house and you'll have a big open area. And I'm going to take a guess, these houses probably have at least a half acre, maybe even, some of them might be a quarter acre.
It just depends if they count the trees.
If you count the trees, and but yeah, it's just this is just there's a 2-story, and I'm going to show you because they have the 1-stories that you've been looking at.
2-story.
Yeah, we're going to show you a big 2-story house. Well, no, it's like a story and a half, but you can tell just, you know, you look at the house and then this was like it's not quite a 2-story. It's almost a 2-story, but we got those really big 2-story homes that are, you know, there's a nice gazebo there. I love the way they did this house here.
They decorated pretty nice.
They really did a nice job. And then we're hitting an intersection here, so we got to take our time.
Oh, good. I got a nice, good, free way of getting out of here.
Yeah, if we sound a little quiet, we had a slight accident about 3-4 years ago in this very intersection.
Oh, yeah, so we have a little bit of memories.
Yeah, memories.
You want to turn down this road?
Sure, whatever road you want to go. We'll go down. We're going down a different road here, and this one here is.
I think this is actually a Cameron Road.
Yeah, okay, this is Cameron Road, and so you have a better idea of the area that we live in, and it's just like I said, you know, you can get a lot of these houses for, you know, a really great price. And for myself, I mean, living in California, you know, I heard about North Carolina, and I knew it was on the East Coast in the South, but it's hard to picture it until you get here, you know. And I never would have pictured all these beautiful trees, or, you know, just the.
Oh, there's another lake.
Okay, here's another lake. Now, hold on for a second. See if I can get it in there. Oh yeah. And so you have ponds and lakes here and there. There's people that, you know, when they buy their property, they get it with. They'll buy maybe like an acre, 5 acres. They have a nice pond, and they can go fishing on their own property. It's really neat. There's another manufactured home. Now they have some really large manufactured homes. Now, manufactured homes, basically what they are is they're mobile homes, and they have like single wide, double wide. They even have triple wide. They even have triple wide mobile homes. And some of them, I mean, their square footage is incredible. Now, during hurricane season, I'm not gonna lie to you, you tend to worry, you know. But on average, since we've been here, and we've been here since about 1998, we've only had 2 major hurricanes hit within that time frame. So that makes it almost, what, since 1998, that's almost 19 years? Yeah, 19 years, unless my math is playing with me, and it probably is.
We had like Hurricane Matthew.
Yeah, we had Hurricane Matthew last year, which affected a lot of people. We mentioned it earlier, and I want to say a special prayer for all the families. They've been through a lot. But this year, they said we're supposed to have a pretty active hurricane season this season, but, you know, we'll wait and see. But we're praying for the best, and not just for us, but for everybody. And but in some ways, you know, let me go and get back on the road here.
Want me to turn to the one housing area with the double story?
Yeah,
houses?
maybe we could. Yeah, we could check you. I would say check you. Oh boy, my speech is getting worse. But yeah, what Rose wants to do is she wants to show you an area that has those big 2-story homes. They're really, they're pretty new. In fact, actually, it's near where we live, and I think it's, we're talking about the Ash. Yeah. And how do you say it?
There's Smokey the Bear.
Oh, Smokey the Bear. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
There's so many trees, though.
Yeah. That's the interesting thing about North Carolina. There's been fires, but
surprisingly not that many.
But surprisingly not that many fires. And I think mainly because during the summertime it gets hot. It's not as hot as certain states. Like if we lived in Oklahoma for 5 years. Beautiful state, really nice people. But during the summertime, it was pretty hot. And this North Carolina is actually cooler, but the only difference is you have to deal with a lot more humidity. So it makes it feel, it's like it could be 90 degrees, but it'll feel like 95 with the humidity. And it depends on how high the humidity is. But yeah, it just and what I like about North Carolina too is, coming from California, you have a lot of mainline stores. I mean, you got pretty much every store you can think of, and I would equate it to like New York. I mean, if you go to New York City, you got tons of stores and lots of things, a lot of things to do. But North Carolina surprised me because, like, if you hit like Fayetteville, or you go down towards Wilmington or Raleigh, Charlotte, they have pretty much every store you can think of that you would find in California or even New York. I mean, they have pretty much everything you can think of. So you don't feel like, it's like the population is smaller, and it's a beautiful state. Like I said, you can tell just the way it looks.
Like I said, here we are.
Oh, here we are. And so Rose is going to show you a housing area.
New homes from the 180s.
Okay, now these homes, it says right there, new homes, and they start off at $180,000. And so, and these homes look like they're on maybe a quarter of an acre, maybe 1/3 of an acre. But these are the big 2-story homes we were telling you about. These are some really nice neighborhoods. My finger's starting to cramp here. I'm sorry. And these are the larger 2-story homes here. And see, it looks like a regular suburb. And they have the wide streets. And you'll notice that, they have 1-story houses, but they got the big 2-story houses. They're really, really nice. Look at this, double garage. And I'll give you a view here so you can see.
They even show some of the backyards.
Yeah, so show them the backyards. And out here, the above-ground pools are popular. They have the in-ground pools as well. But when you have a certain amount of land, you can have your barbecue pits. There's a big 2-story house there. And and you figure this is in a rural area. I mean, we live in a rural area. Basically, we live out in the country, and you have housing subdivisions like this. It's mixed in with the farms and wooded areas and lakes and ponds, and so it's really great. We were looking at some of these houses one time. Rose and I, they had some open houses, so we kind of checked out some of the houses around Halloween. Or Christmas time is really pretty because they put up a lot of pretty decorations and decorations and trees. You can tell.
If you don't got enough trees, get more trees.
And you probably say, well, as many trees as I'm seeing, why does anybody need to buy a Christmas tree? But out here, I forgot to mention another thing. What is during Christmas time? And of course, I know you guys have heard of the Fraser fir trees. The Fraser fir Christmas trees, they're beautiful. They smell great, they look great. You can put tons of ornaments on them, and they are a North Carolina special. And of course, North Carolina is also known for I think they're the #1 state for furniture making, like furniture stores. You know, like a lot of the great furniture you can buy comes out of North Carolina. So North Carolina is known for many things. You have Duke University, you have the University of Chapel Hill, you have North Carolina State University. They have a lot of beautiful colleges here. They also have a lot of great hospitals, like Duke Hospital.
There's a 2-story house here for sale.
Here's a 2-story house here for sale.
It can be yours, I guess.
Yeah, it can be yours. And I mean, what I like about a lot of these houses too is most of these houses, they come with vinyl siding. A lot of these houses have porches and decks out in the back. So you really got the vinyl siding, the porches, the decks. It's really great. I mean, a lot of these houses have double pane windows. They give you all these extra amenities